Um, Thank you, Ashadon, for putting that up there about tapping you on the shoulder, shaking your hand, and you've been implanted and all that, right? So this is just very short and very sweet. When when you're the one, mated, right? Soul arcs, Holy Spirit, and the Father arcing with the Mother that goes on forever, gifting electrons, the center point from which it all began, and that's what you are as a single pole, right? Then if it's true that I'm a single pole, then it means that I am willing. I shouldn't say willing because I wouldn't normally give consent to it. But what it means is I don't live in fear, which means I'm not holding on to one electron because I'm living in fear of letting it all go in order to burn up whatever I get exposed to. So I've shared this before, that if it's true that I am the one, then it means that you can do whatever you want to me, but you're not going to put that fire out. You can never put that fire out. Okay? I'm the one, a single pole. You can never put that fire out. Otherwise, you don't have a universe of creation anymore, do you? Right? In other words, there wouldn't be anybody experiencing any love anywhere. 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 Whoa. But since you know that you are experiencing eternal love through your own heart, which is your core, which is your blast furnace, right? Then you realize there's a physical side of things, which is represented by your avatar, which is a biodegradable unit, communication platform. And it means a single point from which fire burns, right? Purifies the spirit, which is in the light, an oversoul state of consciousness, right? It means that we have the ability to burn off what we've been exposed to naturally, as naturally it would happen because of who it is that we are in energy. We're that much fire, right? So you can understand when we go through all the stuff, the indigo ones, indigo threes, the Emerald Round Table, and sort of translate the battleground here, particularly when you get into high-tech stuff, implanting the tech, right, in order to do what? Drain your energy. I call them feeder lines. Stick something into you, right? Transfer. It's called a code transfer, right? So that now you're experiencing what they are rather than what you are. Well, now I'm experiencing what they are by virtue of the unit of consciousness that did it. So the unit of consciousness would not have been able to implant what it is they're aware of that they're doing without having done it to you. So now you're experiencing what their state of consciousness does by virtue of the implant that it has with you. That's called an attachment. Right? So that's what they do. They want to put attachments in you that is going to be feeding on your core. So now you can understand how she fell in spirit. Mama fell in spirit. Okay? Is all the attachments, all the tech that was implanted into her core, into the womb of a goddess. Okay. So you can see how this works when you put all the Voyager material together, which was to collapse everything into one massive black hole. Right? So how do you get out of a black hole? Recovery. Accelerate the speed of your core, the actual spin rotation of your magnet when you're a monopole. Right? Brrr. Right? 7.2. Human. Okay. Do the math to a 14.4. Right? The 72s, negative slash positive. 72 slash 144. 14.4, Schumann. 3, 7, 21% oxygen. Okay. So you see the difference in the fire code activations of fire letters between something that is 72, which is half of the whole, versus the whole. It becomes one. That's what I am. The one. That's called polarity integration. That's called wholeness, which is oneness, which is to experience the one from which it all began. See, So that's one of the reasons why I've mentioned before, from the moment I was a child, why I was screaming and yelling, do not be sticking that needle in me, right? That's code transfers, right? So in other words, I was running around shaking everybody's hands myself. That's called code transfers the other way, which is called torque conversion. Okay, now we're into patterns, sound patterns, behavioral sound patterns, algorithms, geometric mapping of geographical user interfaces, right, in a simulator, time density between experiencing one versus the other, because they run at a slower state of speed from 14.4 to 7.2. Whoop, now we're in negative magnetic space. Whoa, now the polarity games begin. Not experiencing the one. So now you see what happens between black holes, consciousness that fell in a hole, right? And how do they get out of a hole? Regenerate, bioregenerate, which is restoring what they were once aware of, which is to experience the one. So if they're experiencing the one, then they're not at war against their own state of consciousness in their own mirror by going to war against God. The eternal seed vibration. Seeded races, right? Seed, the male side. So when the Father, the breath of Aloha, a living spirit, into the mother ark to be joined as one, now you have sound and light that's fused together forever. Right? Now you're experiencing being one with all creation, that we're gifting electrons. Here, baby, I can't get away. I can't give these electrons away fast enough. I can't give these electrons away fast enough. And all of a sudden you disappear from view. Wow. What a star. That's a star. A real soul arking star. A cosmic level star. Cosmic level spirit. Cos music. The eternal musician. The first wave of music. It's just too simple. And the reason that those of us that experience this get attacked is for self-evident reasons. They don't experience that. So if they're experiencing something other than that, then that's called an other experience. So now it's like, I'm experiencing what love is. What is the other experiencing? Now you're measuring the planetary consciousness terrain. They're not experiencing one. Right? So if you know if it began with the one, the first waveform spiral, right? Then do you not think or believe in your own heart and soul that everyone should have the inherent, like in air, the heirs has the inherent right by virtue of experiencing the one, being loved? Yeah. And believe it or not, when I was a child growing up dealing with all this, it was very difficult for me to sort of translate how is it possible that a race that's out there in another galaxy, another planet, another star system, why would they want to harm me if I'm giving them energy for free? Cascading electrons. Right? And so a way in which this gets translated, and you can measure this over time, because I experienced this as a child, right? Is when they realize how generous you are with your energy, with a smile on your face, you're sharing and give away everything. And I experienced this, is then you begin to realize, oh, they keep coming back. They keep coming back. They keep coming back. Now, when I was a child growing up, we sort of translated this between each other, which means knowing the difference between your friends. Now we're back to knowing one from the other. which means they'd be more than happy to feed on the energy that you're giving away, right? Because they can't generate any of their own the same way, which is the right way, which is the right-hand path, which is the right-hand path of the one, because it starts with the center point of a sphere upon which gifting electrons just comes natural, because you want everyone to be able to experience a lot of voltage. Yeah, in their cells, right? So the very idea that there is an electric war is like saying, hey, you're connected to the one, you're experiencing eternal electrons being given to you by virtue of photons kicking them out. Now you're experiencing the one. So there isn't any reason, is there, for you to be going to war against the very source from which it all began, because now you're experiencing eternity. Wow, I'm an eternal being. Yeah, now you're gifting electrons away. That means you're surrendering all your electrons in order to serve. Once you've done that, man, now you're a power transformer. Yeah, a generator. You're a self-generating unit. Self-generating unit. Yeah, plug into me. Okay. Remember I shared that about in my childhood? Yeah, and that is an eternal gift, to be able to experience the eternal gift of gifting energy away. Imagine what that feels like, realizing that you're gifting energy away like crazy at such a high rate of speed. It's ridiculous. And the more that you keep doing that, you'd be surprised what happens to your magnet. My God, the intensity of your fire actually increases. And you realize, oh my God, I'm going to burn myself up. At the rate or the intensity through which in your own mind, which is your soul consciousness, is wanting to actually do that. So when you realize it starts from the inner to go to the outer, that's holy, whoa. So when they use the word Christed or crystallite, it's crystalline, a crystalline spiral. So I shared that, how when you become the one as an androgen, which simply means you're fused now forever. Now you're experiencing eternity through the center point of your heart and your soul. And that means that when a soul and a spirit is coming through your gate, right, through your heart, then that newborn is going to experience eternity through you, right? So that means that that soul and that spirit is not going to experience anything less than the one. Because the seed that is represented by the one seed is vibrating by the highest rate of speed, which is eternity, because it's gifting away electron cascades. Brrr. Wow. So that's like the birth of another star. Right? Soul arcing stars. Wow. You just seeded a star. God's seed shared with the mother arc, joined as one that goes on forever, gifting seeds, gifting the speed of that seed that goes to Mama's lab. Mama's lab will certainly grab that, because the intelligence of the universe in its creative imagination realizes the seed that it now can use to experience the one. Right? Firehouse number one, baby.